Hey everybody, welcome back to another special episode of Let's Play Okami HD with Jason and Monica. And this is just a continuation of the last one, so we'll just go from where we left off. This is one of my favorite little mini things in the game that you can easily miss. You meet this girl and her sister if you go around the back of the arch under Sakura, because if you go through it, it'll let you into the astral plane. And she's talking about, you know, she doesn't believe everything is so like she said something, I missed it, but you meet her again in the city. And if you remember, when we go into the past, you see the same girl and sister, but they're like from the past, like I think the same names, but like way like a different generation of them.
Kristen, oh my god!
The little girl can see.
She's magic.
The little girl can see you
For what you are. I don't believe it. So now you have to make a tree and make a deluge.
I made it rain too long, so I sit there and wait for it to go.
I don't believe it. No way.
In part of the end of the game, these two talk about how the older sister didn't believe in gods, and I don't know that if that appears, whether or not if you don't do this side quest. Hopefully somebody knows.
Nice.
I think it does, and then you're just like, what are they talking about if you don't do this?
I can see it now too. It's very faint. Oh my goodness. How cool is that? And you bloom them both.
So since we're in the city, there is one stray bead over by the bridge. You jump out in the water. It helps having the ability to walk in water quite a bit because it's way, way out there. And it's also really deep. If you're not, it's difficult to find unless you're really looking for it. This is one of two special areas in the game that you can only get to by having the power to teleport between the Great Mirrors or whatever. They're called rocky areas, and they're nothing but a little area with items. And there's one in Ryoshima Coast, and there's another one up in Kamui at the end of the game.
Nice.
That's not the right one.
Where is this spot?
It's
Says
hard
the
to
dog.
see. So, I had gone through the entirety of the the whole like timed area in the forest. I forgot what it's called, whatever this forest is called. And I had bloomed all the trees and stuff. I just didn't want to make everybody sit through and watch me do all that. And there's 3 stray bees I think you missed, including a. There's also a sun fragment here.
Ah.
And then there's another stray bead associated with this, which I think we actually will watch going through the entirety of this once. So, stay tuned for that one, because it's kind of longish.
Fragment.
There's the other rocky area that we go to. And this one.
Hard to tell if it's day or night.
This one has a bear. Bears are like the most worthless thing to feed because there's usually only one of them, and they give you like 3 or 4 praise or 5. At least a fish. And at this point, we basically don't need praise anymore because we're maxed out on everything. Or nearly maxed out. This area is entirely icy too, so it's like kind of being run around.
Yes.
So this one, I knew it was by a waterfall somewhere. I just couldn't figure out where and how to get up to it. And so I was like, maybe it's behind the waterfall. As we'll see.
And then there's totally a ledge.
There's a ledge, we couldn't figure out how to get up to it. I couldn't figure it out. But like maybe we need to like melt it so I can jump on the rock. No.
You just walk around.
Yeah. And I was like, I am dumb. Let's just jump up here. This is actually not a stray bead.
Super icy.
This is the penultimate fragment that we had to collect, I think.
Looks like.
This is where you jumped in the mouth of the dragon god.
Uh-huh.
Come back here.
Because it's kind of cursed there.
Yeah, you can bloom it, it's just it wasn't playing along with me at the moment.
There we go. Oh, it's pretty. A fancy pants coral.
Behind the coral there's a box which I somehow
There's a
missed to try to get this thing over
totally
here.
missed.
I was like, oh, I should go get this first, which I wasn't expecting Scrappy to be there. Just happened to be. So check that one off if that happened to work. Treasure box. We actually talked about this during the game when we were playing. About this. When you bring it back here to Urashima's house? Hiroshima?
Uh-huh.
And we were talking about the Japanese myth about this guy who goes down to the Dragon Palace and he comes out young and everybody's old. And
You shouldn't open the box.
he's left with a box, and when he opens it up he turns old. And so we do.
Turn him old.
And I think I accidentally cut it out, but there was a scene with the guard when you leave that room that talks about the box. This doesn't exactly make sense to me because she would have been young too when he was young. But the fact that he's old and she's old, she's okay with it. Unless he was old and went down there in the game and became young and then left, that could happen. This is at the bottom of the cat call tower. There's a bunch of cats we missed. Feed them, and there's some stuff down. You can climb these once you go to the top, but you have to come back in here and do it. And I meant to for a while. Never got around to it. It's a good thing we didn't feed these cats the first time because I
Oh, we
wouldn't
would have run
been...
out of the top of the tower. That
Yeah.
was a sheer stroke of good fortune.
So, you also have to climb the tower again from the bottom. You can't do this the first time you go through the game and cut it out. But if you go through this entire thing and get the power and then go back down and climb it up again, you'll have a new chest up top that has very deep in it.
Interesting.
Here is the snowball making area.
Yes.
And there's one right at the back. And I missed out on it.
Had a little iota of health in it as well.
Here we are at the last area in the game where the ship is. In the back right area there's a blossom you can get up to, and there's a frozen and burnt chest. If you somehow had neither power, I don't know how you would get to this part of the game, but...
True.
And then after you go into the past, if you come back and visit Shaku again, he has some things to talk about.
He even regained his eyesight. That's melancholy music. Eh, he's an okay guy.
So here we go. This is a race with Kai. After
Take two!
Yeah, after not doing it very well at all the very first time, they have to come through again.
Neck and neck.
This time I pass her, and then I never see her again.
And you took a shortcut.
I also don't think I get hit by anything. Maybe I get hit by something once or twice. Not enough to slow me down. Does those purple walls get me the most because I can't really judge where I am in relation to the hole?
Yeah.
Being frozen is just insult to injury. It was a good thing I did come through earlier and bloom all the trees and stuff because they would just been a nuisance.
Yes. So is Livery over here, holy smokes.
I don't know how people get lost in this forest when there's signs telling you which direction to go.
True.
And they're not even joking. They're not trying to trick you into your death.
Yes.
Say that run was definitely much better than the previous.
Yes.
It only took me 2 tries. Luckily. It's not a very hard race, it's just if you screw up too early.
Yeah.
One more stray bead down.
Yay.
We have one left. So I didn't show it didn't show me fighting the last 2 Devil Gate trials. One was before that, and then one is after this. But here is the North Ryoshima Coast Bandit Spider, which gives you a sun fragment, like all the other 2, like the other 2. Fight the same way as ever. It's a Scacia Spider.
Yeah.
And I think this one's pretty quick. These things just get trivial.
Close up. Yes, shoes on.
Just the shoes on. His feet also face backwards.
Yes, all of them. Well, the girl one that we fought as the first boss had hands.
That's true.
It faced in like that. Some serious torsion. Trying to fell you with spikes.
See, when we use the flame attack on it, it's just brought everything to one hit. It's just kind of finishing it off.
Nice.
All the angst out on it. So it looks like at this point we only have one more stray bead to get, and that's by fighting the Devil Gate Trail in this, which will be in the next episode. But That's the hardest fight in the game, hardest set of fights, so... Decided to come over here to Onigiri Sensei and get all the last of the techniques that we had yet to get. Like, somehow, even though I like using the swords, we didn't get blast sword attack until the end of the game. Yeah.
First press square, then press square. To hit square really fast.
Yeah, if you do the fourth one, it does like a 5-hit combo in the last. I really like the swords in this game, but there's not really a big reason to use them over the mirror. Because even though the charge attack with the last sword is the most damage in the game, you do more damage per hit with the solar flare. And for the harder fights, you don't have time to sit around charging.
Yeah.
So it's just better off to use dual mirrors since you get the damage bonus, and you can block, which is super important. And you just do a lot of damage to the solar flare by itself. The only reason to use the sword and the beads, in my opinion, for the harder fights is if you really want to have the electric or the ice power, which isn't a big deal because you can just summon it anyway. There are a couple monsters where using the beads is better because you have a lot more chances to hit them in a short amount of time. But mirror's just better, especially with getting the mirror counter and doing a certain amount of damage with that.
Yeah.
Or blocking, which helps a lot if you can do it. So what else do we need to get here? Bead string, sword dance? One of these we don't actually have to sit and watch. We just talk to him about it. There's actually both of them, I think. Yeah, we just have to do it once. It's like, you're done. Holy bones actually come in handy.
Nice. You're so
Much
fancy.
like all the all of the items in the game, they become very useful in the last decade trial. The only time really I ever use them.
Nice.
I think I used an item once. Did I even use an item once at the end of in the last boss? I don't know.
Sword dance.
This one's just like the last one. We just gotta hit it once and be done with it.
Nice.
So now it's time to get the very last, most expensive special ability in the game.
As I sit here shaking my head.
So we have millions of yen stocked up. We get gold. We already have Golden Fury. So now it's time for Brown Rage.
Which is kind of yellow colored. We watch him for the last one. It's our last chance to see him.
It's not our last chance to see him do it. The ultimate challenge. Firmly push the circle. You can still do both of them. You can still do Golden Fury.
So you hold it down for Brown Rage.
Yes.
It's an innate ability. I haven't even learned this one. He's too classy to poo on his enemies.
The thing is, it explodes. There's such look of determination on her face when she doesn't focus.
He also feels like a boy.
This is one of the ones where it's just like you just leave for a while. And you can Brown Rage them for a Demon Fang, and then Golden Fury them for a Demon Fang, and then counter them with the Mirror for a Golden Fang, and then do the Floral Finisher on them for another Demon Fang. So you can get a minimum of 4 Demon Fangs per guy, or more, depending if they'll drop more. Eventually I figure out that they just go away. I think I was trying to figure out how high of a combo I can get. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but I have killed guys with it.
You're a class act, honey.
Of all the times I've played Okami, I've never gotten it until this one playthrough. But also, this is the only time I've ever gone through all the trials, too. So of course we gotta go try it out on an actual group of monsters. Of course.
What a fitting finale to this special episode. They have laser faces there.
Yeah, those are those. After trying it too many times, I think I just give up. Just decide to kill them off. Yes. Thanks for watching, everybody. That's the end of this one. Stay tuned for the last 2, maybe, where we fight through the 2 remaining Devil Gate trials and the secret ending episode. Thanks for watching.
Bye.